So I'm chilling out on the Hero Factory Discord server doing normal stuff, making my friends vomit at pictures of women, normal stuff. And that's when my day was ruined by someone sharing this Reddit post, so I'm going to go ahead and ruin your day by giving my opinion on it. But first, a quick disclaimer. I'm not an expert in things related to race or child development or advertising or anything like that. I'm not a part of some weird white nationalist LEGO group that wants all minifigures to be white and yellow. I'm just a guy with an opinion on something stupid I found on the internet. With that aside, I hope you enjoy. So, the thesis statement is that yellow is not a neutral skin color for LEGO minifigures. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that LEGO is ultra squeaky clean, that LEGO has always been ultra squeaky clean. I mean, some of these old Native American sets have aged worse than Dan Snyder's foot jokes.
Have you ever tried to get your whole big toe in your mouth? Check this out!
The Ezra and Sabine minifigures from Star Wars Rebels are white when they shouldn't be. I would also like to point out LEGO's response where they say, we chose yellow because it's a neutral skin color. LEGO minifigures don't represent any specific race or ethnic background. I would also like to point out that they neglected to highlight the part that says nobody in real life has bright yellow skin, which I think is a perfectly valid reason, or a valid response to this. We'll get into why this is valid later on. This individual claims that yellow minifigures and white minifigures are the same, and their evidence for this is the 2003 Lando Calrissian minifigure. If LEGO has given an official explanation as to why Lando specifically was the first non-yellow minifigure, then I wasn't able to find it, but a theory that I did come across states that LEGO wanted Lando to stand out more, so they made his color a shade of brown that was already in their catalog. And either because people liked the more realistic look of Lando, or because LEGO planned on doing this from the start, but now that they've become bigger, they were able to get more realistic skin colors. From 2005 onward, LEGO would have their licensed IPs use realistic skin colors. So at one point, the yellow minifigures were supposed to represent white people specifically, but after 2005, that was no longer the case. And I will get into examples of POC minifigures using yellow skin later. Next, the cast of the LEGO Movie is brought up, and it's pointed out that Morgan Freeman's character is the only original non-yellow character in that movie, which is true. However, if your theory held up, then the cast of the LEGO Ninjago movie, for example, would be almost exclusively white voice actors. I'm seeing a lot of POC faces here, and these aren't just cameos, these are some of the main characters, so your theory is absolutely bogus. LEGO minifigures are overwhelmingly white, which is true. I'm not going to sit here and deny that the majority of pop culture characters are white, because that would just be insane and absurd. I mean, if I really felt like being an asshole to LEGO, I would just label them as a glorified merch company, because that's most of the shit that I've bought from LEGO in the past 3 years, if you don't count secondhand stuff, but I digress. And then the white minifigures and the yellow minifigures are mixed into one pile, and then this individual claims that 9 out of 10 minifigures are white. Okay, first problem. You have yet to demonstrate how you could reasonably make this connection with modern LEGO. You could have made that connection back in between 2003 and 2005, but it's 2021. You can't just stretch like that. And your second piece of evidence is that there was no black man who voiced a yellow character in one movie, despite the fact that there are plenty of POC voicing yellow characters in another movie. And problem number 2 is that LEGO has been consistently using yellow minifigures for their original IPs for decades. Third problem, yellow minifigures existed way before realistic flesh colors existed. LEGO is lacking diversity among third parties, which is absolutely true, but I would like to point out that two of your examples are friends in Big Bang Theory. For those of you who don't know the significance of this, friends in Big Bang Theory are not full-on LEGO themes. They got one-off LEGO idea sets, meaning whoever made this is either grasping at straws trying to find examples, or isn't enough of a LEGO fan to know some of the most basic information. As for Marvel, I love Marvel a lot, like as much as you can love a brand, but I do think they could introduce some more diversity. You've got like 60 main characters and like half of them are straight white guys, but I mean, to Disney's credit, they have been slowly introducing more diverse characters. As for Harry Potter, I don't know, go ask the angry turf that runs that series. And then this person brings up United States population statistics, but all of my fellow Americans watching this video, I need you to understand something very important. The United States is not the entire world. LEGO is a big brand that is loved across the world, not just the US, it's big in Europe and the Middle East as well. And LEGO itself is not an American company, it's based in Denmark with a 90% white population. But I like the yellow minifigures, and that's okay. Many of us grew up in a yellow-only minifigure world, and nostalgia is a hell of a drug. So I'm just gonna stop you right there and reveal the biggest twist of this video. I don't give a rat's ass about yellow minifigures. I'm not making this video because I really want to defend the yellow minifigure because it's a classic icon, because I bought like one set that has yellow minifigures in it, like in the span of 5 years. The reason I'm making this video is because I think your opinion is stupid, and I think the logic that you're using to back that opinion is stupid. Meanwhile, those who want to make non-white characters are limited by availability. What, so the heads that represent only black people are more rare than the heads that represent all races? How crazy! Keep in mind, you only have this problem if you view all yellow characters as white characters. So essentially, this is a self-inflicted limitation. Now don't get my words twisted, I am absolutely for having more diverse LEGO minifigures. I welcome having more diverse minifigures. Again, my problem is that you are claiming that LEGO needs to retire the yellow minifigure because they're supposed to represent white people, despite the fact that every piece of evidence that you have come up with is flimsy at best and flat out lies at worst. Okay, fine. But why? The toys kids play with can be a base for their future worldview. Is it right that LEGO presents a worldview that is 90% white? Okay, 3 things. Number 1, this is the most insane conclusion you can come to, and this reads like a parody. And 2, as I have explained before, yellow minifigures and white minifigures are not the same thing. You need to actively choose to see yellow minifigures this way. And finally, most kids aren't LEGO collectors. They're gonna buy the sets that they like and then ignore everything else. And then Legos are good for child development. Why deprave POC kids of that luxury? But the thing is, we're not. No one is. I'm not going to pretend like kids aren't shallow and they like the figures that look like them, but I seriously doubt that would be the sole factor in a kid wanting a LEGO set or not. I'm not even going to bother with the fan convention thing because I don't know. I've never been to a LEGO fan convention before. But then they bring up LEGO Masters, and I've got 2 problems with this being brought up. The first one being that this is completely irrelevant to the points you're trying to make. And the second reason is the first season of LEGO Masters had 2 Puerto Rican guys and 4 black people. Now, if you count Puerto Rican as non-white, then 6 out of the 20 contestants of Season 1 are non-white. And if you look at that American population statistic, that sounds about right for an American show. So in the comments of that original post, someone brings up a couple examples of POC as yellow minifigures, most notably this black family in the Funfair set, and actual race car driver Lewis Hamilton in this racer set. The third one he brings up I think is a typo because that's the Jurassic World LEGO Dimensions pack, but I will add these horrible Native American minifigures that I mentioned earlier. But there's also this new one, and I know anecdotal evidence doesn't really mean jack shit, but I thought I might as well put it in here. A buddy of mine on the Discord server uses a yellow minifigure avatar, and he's black. He's got no problem representing himself with a yellow avatar. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description in case he feels like making some content anytime soon. So, in conclusion, while I don't disagree with people wanting more diverse minifigures, I don't think eliminating the yellow minifigures is really going to accomplish anything other than annoying some fans. The justification for this proposal is laughably stupid at best and downright malicious at worst. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to know what other people think in the comments down below. Maybe you completely differ from my opinion and you think LEGO should get rid of the yellow minifigures. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. But until next time, I'll see you later.